Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Now, I don't know about you, but I am a firm believer that one of the absolute best smells in the world is that of freshly baked bread. I don't know what it is about the smell of freshly baked bread, but it gives me the warm and fuzzies and just makes me happy. And I have yet to meet someone who's like, oh, what's the smell of fresh bread? What? So this week, I figured I'd show you guys how to make focaccia. I'm going to jazz mine up a little bit with some tasty things, but the basic recipe is pretty straightforward and you can put whatever you want on it. So I am going to make a roasted garlic, rosemary, and tomato focaccia. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited because I get to make bread and eat bread. So I'm gonna go through my ingredients over here, equipment, and then we're gonna chat while I make it because it's a bit of a time-consuming process. We got a couple steps we need to hit. So I have 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, and then I've just got a little bit of extra that I'm gonna use to flour my surface because we are gonna be doing some kneading. I roasted off an entire head of garlic. If you have never had roasted garlic before, it's gonna blow your mind. All I did to this was I chopped the top off, I put it in a shallow pan, and I covered it in a little bit of olive oil, and I put it in my oven for about 45 minutes. And so the difference with this is that you can literally just eat a whole clove of roasted garlic. It's much sweeter, and you're not gonna be like, you know, warding off vampires. And I also have some residual garlic oil. So the oil that I used to roast, I hung on to that because I'm gonna use some of this to drizzle on top and make it extra delicious. So a teaspoon of honey, a tablespoon of dry active yeast. This is about a tablespoon of freshly chopped rosemary, half a cup of grape tomatoes that I just sliced in half, a teaspoon and a half of kosher salt, 1 cup of warm water, a 1/4 cup of olive oil. Also got just a little bit of extra oil that I'm gonna use to coat the bowl, and I've got some rosemary salt that I'm gonna use on top of the focaccia. As far as equipment, I've got 2 stainless steel bowls. I've got a little wooden spoon, sheet pan, and I have a damp cloth. So I'm gonna kind of start doing some things and we're just gonna chit chat while I get going. So first things first, you wanna wake up your yeast. So we're gonna take our water into our bowl. We're going to throw in our honey. I'm just gonna give this a little bit of a stir, and then I'm going to put all of my yeast in. Okay? Now I'm just looking to bloom the yeast. So I'll give it a quick stir while it's in the bowl, and then I'm just gonna wait. So you're gonna wait until it starts to foam. We're getting there, we're waiting. You can't rush science. I'm so excited. I love eating bread. It's my favorite. Once it starts foaming, we can move on to our next step. We're gonna take our 1/4 cup of oil, and we're only gonna take 1 cup of the flour to start. And just give it a little stir. So now we can go ahead and add the rest of our flour, and we can add in our salt. The only thing we should have left are going to be the things that we're gonna pop on top of our focaccia. I'm just gonna use the wooden spoon to get it started, and then we're gonna go ahead and start kneading it. As soon as you get a dough that's formed, you can see that it's starting to come together in big clumps, and it's really sticking to my spoon. So now I'm gonna go in with my hands. I'm gonna use the ends of my fingers to pull it up, and then I'm gonna use my knuckles to press down until I get a nice dough ball going. So fingertips under, kind of like you're folding, up, press down with your knuckles. My dough ball is all together. So now we need to knead it. So I'm gonna take my flour, nice little pinch. We're gonna dump that out, and now we start kneading. Kneading is important because we are developing gluten. We're making sure that it's all evenly mixed. If you've never kneaded anything before, grab the furthest part, pull it over, use your palm, push away, okay? And then you kind of do a bit of a 1/4 turn every time you do it. And we gotta keep doing this until it's as smooth as a baby's bottom. Okay, I got a nice smooth ball. Now we need to let this guy proof. Proofing is important because you gotta let the yeast ferment. With your other bowl, I have a little bit of oil in here. I'm just gonna kind of rub it around, and we're looking for the dough to double in volume. It should take about an hour. Make sure you place it somewhere warm. I've got my oven preheating right now, 450 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm gonna pop this in the bowl, and I'm gonna take my damp cloth and just kind of lay it over top. And I'm gonna let this sit on top of my oven because there is a little bit of residual heat coming out. We'll be back for the second part of this. See you guys in a little bit. So it's been about an hour. This is what my dough looks like now. Doubled in size, so we are good to go. I'm gonna take kind of the residual oil from the bowl, kind of get it on my sheet pan, and we're gonna oil this really, really well. All right, and then I'm just gonna oil my other hand. I'm gonna take my dough out, get it onto my sheet pan, and now I'm gonna start shaping it. You don't need a rolling pin for this. We're just gonna use our fingertips and just start spreading it. Now taking your fingertips and really kind of press down. That's what this looks like right now. So now I'm going to put lots of tasty stuff on top. So I'm gonna start with the rest of my garlic oil. And then I'm gonna take my head of garlic. So I'm gonna squeeze it on. Once you have your garlic out, we're just gonna kind of lightly just spread it with your fingers. Now I'm gonna take my tomatoes. So I'm really just gonna take them and spread them around. All right. And now the rosemary. Now last but not least, I've got this rosemary salt. It's by a company called The Salt Dispensary. And I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit on top. This is what she looks like right now. I'm gonna let this proof again. We wanna let it proof for about 20 minutes, and then we're gonna bake it for 20 minutes until it's delicious and golden. For the final time today, we're back. So I've pulled this out of the oven, and I seriously wish you could smell how amazing my house smells right now. It smells so good in here with the rosemary and the garlic and the fact that it's fresh bread. Oh my God! So it's gorgeous. I'm gonna cut into it to make sure that it's, of course, beautiful in the center. But that's it. I know that it's a long process from start to finish. It's about 2 hours when you factor in all the proofing and the baking and the blah, 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 but it is worth it. And I'm excited because I have to try some of this right now. I really gotta not eat so much bread. It's steaming. Oh my God, I'm so happy. So you got your nice, beautiful, fresh bread. And that's it. I'm gonna cut a piece. Oh my God! Oil makes it so crispy on the outside. Oh, it's so soft in the center. Well, that's it, guys. Don't forget to leave it a like, subscribe to my channel to see new videos like this every Wednesday, and drop a comment down below if there's something you want to see. See you guys next week. Bye!